Passage to be left clear. The Honourable Minister, sir, is expected any moment now. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together to welcome Honourable Chief Guest, Shri Jyotiraditya M. Scindia ji, Honourable Minister of Communications, Government of India. Let's welcome the Honourable Minister on the stage. Also inviting Dr. R.S. Sharma, former Chairman TRI and former CEO NHA, Mr. Osama Manzar, founder and director of the Digital Empowerment Foundation, Ms. Aruna Sundararajan, Chairperson Broadband India Forum, and Mr. T.V. Ramachandran, President Broadband India Forum. Namaskar and good morning. Honorable Chief Guest, Shri Jyotiraditya M. Scindia ji, Honorable Minister of Communications, Government of India. Our special guest of honor, Dr. R.S. Sharma, former Chairman TRI and former CEO NHA, Mr. Osama Manzar, founder and director of Digital Empowerment Foundation, our esteemed dignitaries on the dais, all our special invitees, senior officials, esteemed panelists, distinguished delegates, respected members of the press and media, ladies and gentlemen. A very warm welcome to the World Wi-Fi Day Conference 2025 and the celebrations which are being organized by Broadband India Forum. This year, we gather under the inspiring theme, Transforming India, Innovating for the World, a reflection of India's ambitious digital vision and its global innovation leadership. Today's conference brings together visionary policymakers, distinguished technocrats, thought leaders from civil societies, and industry pioneers, all working towards strengthening inclusive digital connectivity and empowering the future through Wi-Fi innovations. Ladies and gentlemen, we are honored today to have with us the esteemed presence of Shri Jyotiraditya M. Scindia ji, Honorable Minister of Communications, Government of India, as Honorable Chief Guest. A parliamentarian known for his eloquence and sharp intellect, Shri Scindia ji's leadership is marked by innovation, inclusiveness, and deep commitment to public service. Sir is widely recognized for his reform-oriented approach and forward-looking leadership. As the Honorable Minister of Civil Aviation, he spearheaded the transformative expansion of India's aviation sector, focusing on connectivity, private investment, and infrastructure development. And now, as the Honorable Minister of Communications, he is leading India's digital transformation through robust policy initiatives that aim to bridge the digital divide, accelerate 5G adoption, and enhance broadband connectivity in rural areas, and propel India's forward becoming a global telecom hub. And may I now request Ms. Aruna Sundararajan, Chairperson Broadband India Forum, to kindly welcome the Honorable Minister, sir, with a floral bouquet. And I would request Mr. T.V. Ramachandran, President BIF, to kindly honor the Honorable Minister, sir, with a shawl. Ladies and gentlemen, let's once again put our hands together to welcome the Honorable Minister, sir. A very, very warm welcome to you, sir. I would request Mr. T.V. Ramachandran to kindly welcome our special guests of honor with floral bouquets. We welcome Dr. R.S. Sharma, former chairman of TRI and former CEO of the National Health Authority, a pioneering architect of India's digital ecosystem. A very warm welcome to you, sir. We also welcome Mr. Osama Manzar, founder and director of the Digital Empowerment Foundation, a tireless advocate of digital inclusion at the grassroots level. Warm welcome to you, sir. Thank you, TV, sir. Warm welcome to you, sir. Thank you, TV sir. And now, to formally set the tone for today's conference, I would like to invite Ms. Aruna Sundararajan, Chairperson BIF, to begin the proceedings with the welcome and the context setting. Over to you, ma'am.
Honorable Minister of Communication, Shri Jyotiraditya Scindia ji, Dr. R.S. Sharma, former Chairman TRI, Mr. Osama Manzar, Founder and Director, Digital Empowerment Foundation, distinguished guests, invitees, ladies and gentlemen. It is an absolute pleasure and privilege on behalf of the Broadband India Forum to wish each and every one of you a happy World Wi-Fi Day here today. As you know, every year, BIF celebrates the World Wi-Fi Day as a platform to highlight the critical and pivotal role of Wi-Fi in promoting global connectivity. This year, however, I am glad to mention that this celebration acquires even greater significance because we are dedicating this entire day to unequivocally acknowledging and commending the Government of India's pioneering strides in promoting this Wi-Fi technology for the masses. Under the leadership of the Honorable Prime Minister, the Ministry of Communications, under the leadership of our Honorable Minister, has been taking pioneering steps in promoting Wi-Fi. Let me quickly elucidate a few of these steps. GOI have delicensed 500 megahertz in the critical 6 gigahertz spectrum band. This decision is a strategic step that will enable the launch of a whole host of next generation Wi-Fi technologies, including Wi-Fi 6E and Wi-Fi 7. Wi-Fi 7 in particular holds great promise to become a core provider of affordable internet access across our nation. This step also places India on the global technological frontier as countries worldwide are opening up this very band as delicensed spectrum. We believe that this step of the ministry would enable businesses, educational institutions, and users in residential and office spaces to access high-speed wireless internet. High-speed, ultra-reliable networks, as we all know, remain the indisputable foundation of a country's digital future. Wi-Fi networks are crucial because they constitute the silent yet incredibly powerful workhouse of the digital ecosystem. Look at the fact that nearly 80% of all data today is consumed indoors. While higher frequencies involved in 5G networks can offer high speeds, they often struggle to penetrate satisfactorily into buildings. Therefore, no matter what the user profile is, we know that without Wi-Fi, it is not possible to really grow the digital ecosystem. There is a tremendous opportunity in tapping and unlocking public Wi-Fi hotspots. The Bharat 6G vision document released by the Honorable Prime Minister under the leadership of the Minister eloquently highlights this potential by setting an ambitious target of 50 million public Wi-Fi hotspots by 2030. Again, the DOT amended the PM WANI framework in September 2024, enabling backhaul aggregation and roaming across public data offices to ensure that users can seamlessly switch between different aggregator networks. It is entirely appropriate that we have the minister who has taken this decision and the pioneer of this scheme, Dr. R.S. Sharma ji, here with us on the diet. Complementing these reforms, the TRI's Telecommunication Tariff Order 2025, issued just last week, is a welcome step, setting a ceiling of twice the retail broadband for all retail FTTH broadband plans up to 200 Mbps. This will drastically reduce the cost of backhaul for public Wi-Fi hotspots, making it up to 10 times more economical and removing one of the big barriers that have remained hitherto for public Wi-Fi. The minister's strategic formation of 6 stakeholder advisory committees to accelerate goals including Atmanirbharta in manufacturing, SATCOM, 6G standards, cyber telecom security, reflects an institutional approach to advancing innovation-led, affordable, and inclusive connectivity across the country. All these key policy interventions together represent a major inflection point in India's Wi-Fi journey, and they signal the GOI's ambitious vision of providing inclusive and affordable broadband access to every Indian. I call on all the participating organizations, the service providers, the ISPs, the industry associations, the think tanks, and everybody who is part of the digital ecosystem to strengthen the hands of the government and the minister in ensuring that India is able to realize this ambitious broadband and Wi-Fi vision. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, Wi-Fi holds little value if it doesn't reach and benefit the general public and civil society at large. And to bring forth this crucial civil society perspective, I now have the privilege to invite Mr. Osama Manzar, founder and director of the Digital Empowerment Foundation, to kindly address the gathering. Let's put our hands together to welcome sir.
Yes, 5 minutes. Thank you very much, everybody on the dais. I will, Honorable Minister, Dr. R.S. Sharma, Ms. Aruna Sundarajan, TVR, they all are my teachers and friends in the last 25 years. Aruna I met in Kerala when she was IT secretary there, and that is how learning started. I just want to tell you a very perspective-oriented story that many of you won't know. In 2010, the minister asked me that, can you come to Chanderi and just go and see and then come back. And we were talking about some events doing together and all that. He said that I will work only when you go to Chanderi and come back. I went to Chanderi, came back. And the long story short, the first Wi-Fi cluster was created in Chanderi, and that became a case study. It's really a case study which is taught in Ivy Leagues and many institutions with the effort of converting 5,000 weavers cluster into a Wi-Fi township. We didn't do like feeding in the mouth, but we created a Wi-Fi ecosystem. After that, it became an example. Digital Empowerment Foundation went ahead and did 336 Wi-Fi locations. Mr. R.S. Sharma took Wi-Fi efforts of DEF and recommended it for as a basis for PM Vani, which became a policy, and that is how the story began. So here is the person who actually helped in creating an example from the ground, and here is sitting in front of you. We are going to put a lot of onus, since I have been asked to come as a civil society voice. We have now, DF has got 2,500 location in 28 places. But what I want to actually bring to notice is that, sir, only 10% of rural India has been able to do transaction online. That's a fact. We are 900 million people in rural India. And all of us, because of various regulations and various aspirations, everybody want to do everything online, but only 10%. And I'm saying this because, you know, let's assume online transaction as the meaningful access benchmark, right? So what is the onus on us is that while we are creating Wi-Fi clusters and Wi-Fi locations, are we conscious about converting the same number of people which we did in Chanderi 10 years back as a meaningful access? It was not just Wi-Fi, it was a meaningful access that you can do transaction, you can talk to doctors, you can talk to, you can apply for jobs, you can do everything online. Basically it converts, it doesn't buffer, it doesn't really give challenge to the people. So I am actually trying to propose and trying to say that India is huge country of, let's say, 600 GI locations? Can we create 600 GI cities, through Wi-Fi cities? Can we create 545, which is weaving clusters, as, weaver's city, with Wi-Fi infrastructure? Can we consider a very strong Wi-Fi as a digital public infrastructure basis and hyper-local data centers to create a city for the people who can actually use Wi-Fi? Because those days have gone when we have not just Wi-Fi, or just have connectivity. We want to do transaction, we want to study online, we want to apply online, we want to get everything online. And therefore, it is very, very important that we plan, and sir, I think you have got cabinet approval for doing a huge amount of last mile, Wi-Fi cities and all that. How can we integrate into a meaningful access for various clusters rather than individualizing target institutions? I would just stop there because I'm saying this from the voices of the people and who are in the villages. They really want hand-holding to come technologically, to be phygital Wi-Fi and localized Wi-Fi from all across the country. And that is what we need. All 900 million people would like to have a meaningful access through Wi-Fi. So this is a request, and this is a proposition that how do we create Wi-Fi clusters-based proposition. That's all I have at this morning. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Manzar, for your heartfelt thoughts and commitment to inclusive connectivity. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now privileged to hear from Dr. R.S. Sharma, who is a distinguished technocrat and a special guest of honor and has led digital transformation in India across several key institutions. Sir, we have the privilege to invite you to kindly share your insights. Let's put our hands together to welcome sir.
Good morning, friends. Honorable Minister Sri Scindia ji, Aruna ji, T.V. Ramchandran ji, Osama ji, and many of my friends whom I have known for a long time. I just want to begin with Digital India. It is interesting to note that Digital India was launched on 1st of July 2015. This is just a week less than the 10 full years. And there are three broad areas which Digital India had sort of specified. One is digital connectivity as an infrastructure to citizens. That was the base. Then software and services on demand on top of that digital infrastructure. And third was the citizens' empowerment. These were the three broad areas. And thereafter, the whole setup started working for achieving these three objectives. So first, the telecom, connectivity is one of the fundamental things, because without that you cannot do any application, any transaction which Osama talked about. So one was that how do you ensure that telecom reaches everywhere? That's one part. But one of the issues which we talk of digital infrastructure, and digital infrastructure includes soft infrastructure like Aadhaar, payment, identity, payment, etc. So that is what we started building. And one of the things which was important is to create a digital public infrastructure of the Wi-Fi kind of systems. Because at that point in time in 2015, 2016, the data was selling at 275 rupees per gigabyte. Today data is selling at 5 rupees per gigabyte, as you know. So we actually, in the TRAI, actually crafted out a policy as to how we can have an interoperable, scalable Wi-Fi infrastructure in the country. And there came the Wi-Fi exit network interface, which essentially ensured that everybody, every citizen, whosoever has got smartphone, and now of course we have 800 million smartphones in this country, whosoever has a smartphone will be able to access, not free necessarily, but certainly able to access the Wi-Fi and will be able to do transactions, even without having a data plan at that point in time. And that's what we envisaged. But then, as it always happens, there are competing interests. The telcos, and actually we gave the recommendation, the TRAI gave the recommendation after the launch of this whole proof of concept by Sri Manoj Sinha ji, at that time the minister who launched it from Bangalore. We actually gave it to the Department of Telecom. In 2017, March 2017, I remember the date. Immediately the telcos came back and said, oh, we will create 10 million Wi-Fi by September of 2017. 6 months. As of now, we have just about 6 lakh public Wi-Fi. 6 lakh. This is 2025. And the telcos had said that, so basically telcos have always been opposed to this concept. They think that we should be the persons who should be distributing the connectivity to the people. That is not correct. Sir, we have created digital public infrastructure. BharatNet, for example. BharatNet, we have spent 42,000 crores till now. It was started way back in 2011 called NOFA, National Optical Fiber Network, and now rechristened as BharatNet in 2014. We have spent 42,000 crores. 5 times the money which we spent on Aadhaar, for example. But the return on that investment is zero. I think we need to use that public infrastructure, that digital public infrastructure to provide connectivity to large number of people. And it has infinite capacity. Every panchayat has been connected with a fiber. So that is something which I think we should create, because let's look at France. Let's look at America. They have got, one Wi-Fi hotspot per 1,000 population. We have got one Wi-Fi hotspot per 40,000 population. Every country in the world, Nigeria has got 2 times our, public Wi-Fi hotspots. I mean, in terms of percentages. So I think we need to do that. Fortunately, 2017, the recommendation was given. Department of Telecom took 3 years, 3.5 years. In fact, in December of 2020, ultimately the cabinet approved that, and the Honorable Prime Minister was very clear that we want to have this. And the cabinet approved that proposal, and thereafter it said no license, nothing. But still, the DNA of the, I'm sorry, sir, I'm just sort of looking like a critical person, but I'm just speaking the truth. The DNA of Department of Telecom is license. Anything which should happen within a license. Now, by definition, the Wi-Fi, the free license, unlicensed spectrum is license free. There should be no license. And the cabinet approval, which was given in 2020, December, specified that there shall be no license of any kind. But thereafter also, all kinds of stuff happened. And the backhaul cost also, telco said this is a commercial use and therefore I will charge more. And stuff like that. I think that the entire part has got to be simplified, and this simplification exists. It can be done. It is also a strategic, mind you, because today we are in a duopoly situation as far as the telecom infrastructure is concerned. And we have to develop certain alternative routes of providing broadband to our people. And these alternative routes already exist. You have the fiber. Millions of kilometers of fiber has been laid by BharatNet. That fiber must become an alternative route to provide connectivity to the people of this country. And I think, again, I want to end by saying, I was talking to the Honorable Minister, and I complimented him for delicensing that part of the 6 gigahertz part. That's one part. Secondly, he has taken certain decisions which actually did not gel well with the telcos. But then, as I was telling him, and I used to tell myself, that I am not a spokesperson for telcos. I am not in the popularity contest. We have to be consumer-centric. And that consumer-centricity is what is actually needed, and the Honorable Minister is tirelessly doing that job, and I must compliment him from this public platform. Thank you very much, friends. It's wonderful. Thank you very much, BIF, for continuing this flame, or continuing this journey of ensuring that we actually do it without any kind of partisan kind of thing, without any lobbying kind of thing. We do it as a think tank, a very neutral think tank which thinks of consumer and providing that connectivity to them. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed, sir, for sharing your insightful thoughts and also for your continued guidance to all of us. Ladies and gentlemen, and now the moment we all have been looking forward to, and it is my distinct honor to invite our Honorable Chief Guest, Shri Jyotiraditya M. Scindia ji, Honorable Minister of Communications, Government of India, for the inaugural address. Let's put our hands together to welcome sir.
Seated on the dais with me, Adarniya Arunaji, Chairperson of BIF, R.S. Sharma Sahib, a doyen in the communication space and someone who has been very forthright and very clear in his articulation throughout his career, contributed to the structural integrity of infrastructure in India in many, many avatars. On the dais with me, former chairperson of BIF and someone who's always been, I wouldn't say knocking at my door, but banging at my door, Mr. T.V. Ramchandranji, and someone who I've grown to not only respect but be very fond of. He reminds me of an army general in his approach. My old colleague who has worked with me on the ground, rolled up his sleeves with me and got into the dust and dirt of the rural hinterlands of Madhya Pradesh, Osama Manzar. And ladies and gentlemen, seated here today, representing a sector that will truly unshackle mankind across the globe on this planet Earth. On this World Wi-Fi Day, let me first of all congratulate you all. It's a day that must be celebrated across the world because it is a day that, as I said, removes the shackles which were once limited to access to capital, which were once limited to access to infrastructure, now limiting mankind from access to information. And what do I mean by these three analogies? Access to wealth 100 years ago, or access to rather capital, was the key divider that would prevent or would keep entrepreneurism at bay. Access to infrastructure 100 years ago, prior to the Industrial Revolution, was what was the physical divide between those who could grow and those whose growth was curtailed. And today, access to information is the difference between lighting a flame for entrepreneurship and keeping it doused. And therefore, this World Wi-Fi Day is extremely seminal because what it does is that it puts into perspective a day to celebrate an invisible form of a power and an energy that is capable of powering visible change. And that truly represents the power of Wi-Fi. It is a day when we sit back and look at the capability that this energy gives us. It gives us a freedom to connect. It gives us a freedom to create. And it gives us a freedom to rise in the digital age of the world. And therefore, as the speakers before me have enunciated so beautifully, whether it is the democratization of this technology, spreading it across the length and breadth of India, because India's power lies in her population. India's power lies in her demographic dividend. 1.4 billion of us, 18% of the world's population. And 70% of us below the age of 35. You're talking about almost 1 billion people. That's the energy that Bharat Mata espouses, not only for India, but for the world today. And it is our job as catalysts, and I always say this, our job in government today is not to be a regulator. Our job in government today is to be a facilitator. We need to open those new vistas. We need to provide opportunity. And as R.S. Sharma ji just said, our job is to be company or technology agnostic. And I've said this, Sharma ji, on the floor of Parliament. Our job is to be company or technology agnostic. But our job is to be customer-centric. And our responsibility is towards 1.4 billion of our country's brothers and sisters. Our job is to provide every opportunity to them. Our job is to provide every technology to them. Our job is to make sure that Moore's law operates in the economic sphere, that as volume rises, prices fall. And that is what you have seen in the 10 years of Prime Minister Modi's government, where a voice call, I remember when I came back from Harvard University in 1993 as a banker, we didn't have a single one of these boxes in our country. The first 6 licenses were given out for the first 6 cities in 1994. At that time, one box would cost 1 lakh rupees. We used to be charged 16 rupees a minute. 10 years ago, we were charged 50 paise a minute. Today, we are charged 0.03 paise a minute. I can't even convert that into cents. And data. 1 GB of data used to cost 200, I want to correct R.S. Sharma ji, it's very difficult to correct R.S. Sharma ji normally, but it used to cost R.S. Sharma ji 287 rupees. Today it costs 9 rupees per GB, which is 11 cents. And what is the world's average cost per GB? You'll be shocked, $2.49. So India operates at 5% of the world's cost. This is democratization of technology. Today we have fiber, we have broadband, we have Wi-Fi, we have mobile, and soon enough, we will also have satellite. Our job is to provide as many avenues as possible, and within each vertical as well, provide intense competition. It's not good enough having a duopoly or 1 carrier or 2 carriers. You must have competition in every sector. India today is probably the only country in the world with 4 telcos. incessant competition in ISPs. Now with BharatNet, we will have BNUs, BharatNet Udyamis, across the length and breadth of our country. Those of us who lived in that era, and I don't want to tell you what my age is, but I remember those days when the advent of PCOs happened in this country. Our BNUs will be the modern your PCOs. Provide entrepreneurship opportunities. And similarly in the case of Wi-Fi. And look at where our wireless landscape is going. And when I talk about our wireless landscape, I talk about the whole co-hosting of services that are possible. We are going to go from our current 15 billion to almost close to about 70 billion by 2035. One vertical. And within that vertical alone, if you look at the Wi-Fi segment, that Wi-Fi segment alone will be 22 billion by 2035. That's the steep path of growth. And India is the only country, let me tell you, that provides this exponential growth. I was in Barcelona for the World Mobile Congress, and I was amazed. Across the world, the telecom space is shrinking from a point of view of growth, is shrinking from a point of view of capex. It is only in India that you've rolled out 5G in 22 months, close to 5.5 lakh BTSs, 5 lakh crores worth of investment, covering 99.6% of districts and 82% of population. It's only possible in India. It's only possible in India at the Prime Minister's resolve, where 4 countries have a monopoly in terms of telco equipment for 4G. China, Finland, Sweden, and Korea. 5 companies in 4 countries. Today, a public sector company like C-Dot combines with a private sector company like Tejas with an Indian SI like TCS, and we produce our own 4G stack, becoming only the 5th country in the world to have telecom technology. So for us, literally, it's not a euphemism, it's not a cliche. The sky is the limit. From Wi-Fi to satellite. And India today has become the leader, ladies and gentlemen. You are responsible and you must be saluted for that. We have become the leaders of the digital world across the globe. We talked about transactions. Osama talked about transactions. Today, you'll be amazed, 46% of the digital transactions in the world happen in India. 46% in one country. Not the US of A, not all of Europe, not China. 46% in India. But we have, as the old adage goes, miles to go before we sleep. The woods are dark and deep, miles to go before we sleep. We have a long journey to go ahead. But penetration is moving fast. And moving into the rural hinterlands. To elaborate on what Osama said, we are starting on 5G use cases where? We are not starting on 5G use cases in cities. Not Bombay, not Delhi, not Bengaluru, not Hyderabad. We are starting with 5G use cases in 13 villages from Andhra Pradesh to Madhya Pradesh, across the country, to prove the 5G use case model. 10 services, 13 villages. My passion has been rural India. Gandhiji said, India will rise, she will rise from her villages. भारत की आत्मा गांव में रहती है और मैं गांव का आदमी हूं. So, I want to put at rest our penetration even on Wi-Fi has to be country-wide. It has to be wide and it has to be deep. And which is why, when we talk about the Wi-Fi segment as far as India is concerned. This flame that was lit in 2020 by Prime Minister himself, he has the ability to be able to see things far quicker and much in advance than the rest of the world. And I'm saying this to you because I have learned this by experience from him. When I became Civil Aviation Minister, the first statement he said to me, I want India to become the drone capital of the world by 2030. At that point of time, we didn't even know what drones were. Today, the usage of drones across India for every practical purpose that you can think of. And his approach of whole of government, 16 ministries were mandated first that you will use drones for everything. Can you imagine cadastral surveys, Osama, in rural India being done by drones? So today, that is becoming a reality. And the same thing in telecom. Ubiquitous connectivity, all-pervasive connectivity. And therefore, his dream of PM Wani, Prime Minister's Wi-Fi access network interface, to every village, to every citizen across the length and breadth of this country. Imagine this. 3 examples I'll give you. A shop owner, let's say in a city like Varanasi, puts up a 3,000 rupee router. And that person has the capability to generate Wi-Fi hotspots linking every student, every gig worker, every shopkeeper in that area. He becomes a multifaceted entrepreneur. Pune, for example, is becoming the home of IT. Think of a young app developer in Pune that now becomes an app provider that can help you locate the closest Wi-Fi hotspot and simply click and log in. And third, think of a mall owner in Guwahati that becomes a public data office aggregator who takes care of the backhaul of hundreds of PDOs and starts a new business. This, ladies and gentlemen, for you are examples of this value chain, where you not only create public access to Wi-Fi, but you're able to create multiple opportunities for entrepreneurship. And this is India's example of grassroots connectivity. A connectivity which is steeped in simplicity, a connectivity which is driven by inclusion, and a connectivity that is blessed by innovation. These are the 3 characters of this industry which will help multiple industries to flower across the length and breadth of our country. And as the speakers before me have spoken, Aruna ji has spoken about the technical aspects. 16 September 2024, we sat down and said, we want to create a new landscape for this sector. If it has to be all pervasive, it has to permeate, it must be a new landscape. And what was that new landscape? Allowing PDOs to access your FTTH connections, thereby making every storefront a digital powerhouse. Number 1. Number 2, making sure that you have a shared backhaul. And what does that allow you? That allows you to make sure that your isolated dots on your digital highway become islands of an archipelago that weave together, like we say in Chanderi, Tana and Bana, warp and weft, together and make a mosaic. Third, when we look at a humble home or an office router, with just a new SSID card that will serve as a gateway to the national commons, digital commons. And fourth, when you make sure that there's seamless roaming across PDOs, which means a person that's going from Kochi to Kohima never gets disconnected. And at the same time, you allow a fusion of mobile data offloading, which means when you go from the spectrum-based mobile system onto a Wi-Fi system, thereby saving valuable spectrum space as well. These 5 elements have created a new metaphysical environment in which Wi-Fi can be all-pervasive. And I commit you this, that in the days to come, we will ensure that from a policy perspective, not from a regulator's perspective, but from a facilitator's perspective, we will lay out the platform so as to make sure that we connect every disconnected citizen across the length and breadth of our country. We already have close to about 3.5 lakh hotspots. And all this is happening without spectrum, without bureaucratic red tape. And India today is showing the world how to move. India today is showing the world how it can be done. And therefore, we must celebrate this journey, not with applause, but with purpose. Every hotspot must convert, and I would like Osama, yourself, Arunaji, to concentrate on this. You must convert every hotspot into a hope spot. Because the amount of opportunities that will arise from this new service will be immeasurable. We must ensure that every connection churns another chance, and every byte carries within it millions of heartbeats of our fellow Indians across the length and breadth of our country. We have now delicensed and awarded, refarmed the 6 gigahertz spectrum, the lower end of that spectrum, which is today not a luxury, today it's a necessity. And that will give us what? It will give us to our industry multi-gigabit speeds, ultra-low latency, low-cost digital highways that will spawn, it will spawn multiple businesses, multiple opportunities. Think of it this way. 100 years ago, in the Industrial Revolution, you meaning us humans, built physical roads and physical railways. The Vanderbilts, the Carnegies. Today, India is #1 in building the first digital highway. It's an invisible pipe, but the content in that pipe is what is going to change the lives of people not across our country, but across the world. And that avishkar, that navachar will emanate, ladies and gentlemen, from no other country in the world but from our Bharat Mata. And therefore, delicensing the 6 gigahertz spectrum was key in that movement. As Sharma ji has said, other countries have done it. But I guarantee you that our rules for this will be out either on or before Independence Day of this year. That freedom for every single citizen will be mandated by Prime Minister Modi's government within the next couple of months. Now, 2 final points I'd like to elucidate on. The first, we must ensure that this pipe is one that is spread across the length and breadth of our country. It is like the arteries of the heart. And therefore, the digital divide between Bharat and India has to be obliterated by this technology. And for that, we're not only looking at the ground. Many of the speakers before me talked about OFC, but we are also looking at the skies. Satellite, LEO and MEO, both have become today a reality in India. Spectrum will be assigned on an administrative basis. 3 licenses have been given out, and those areas that were never connected will become connected in India. The first is access. The second point is affordability. And here I must appeal to my industry, my chip makers, my OEMs, my device makers. We must ensure that we are able to produce devices at nominal cost to allow our citizens to connect onto this technology. We cannot allow devices to become the new digital divide in our country. And therefore, if you look at the 3 components of this space, number 1, your terrestrial fiber, number 2, your satellite connectivity, and number 3, devices at nominal cost. All 3 together represent the bouquet that present the opportunity for our countrymen and women to power forward and innovate in their lives. And that is what the mandate of the Telecom Ministry is, to ensure that we provide that landscape for every single citizen across our country. Final words, I'd like to say that in India, I certainly believe that connectivity is not a commodity. It is a tool of empowerment. It is an act of nation building. And therefore, on this World Wi-Fi Day, let us commit ourselves that we will light up every single rural home. We will empower every aspiring mind, and we will strengthen every public service with the power of Wi-Fi. Together, let us make Wi-Fi stand for widespread inclusion for future India. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Minister, sir, for that powerful and inspiring address. Your vision gives new momentum to the digital application and aspirations of our nation. Ladies and gentlemen, as we gather today to celebrate the World Wi-Fi Day 2025, it is now time to felicitate an exemplary leadership and pioneering vision in advancing India's digital frontiers. It is our honor and privilege to present a memento to the Honorable Minister of Communications, Shri Jyotiraditya M. Scindia ji, whose dynamic leadership has been instrumental in redefining India's digital connectivity landscape. We warmly extend our felicitations to the Honorable Minister, sir, for the path-breaking digital policy initiatives that have advanced India's digital economy in consonance with Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji's vision of Viksit Bharat. We commend the efforts to expand inclusive and affordable connectivity and propelling innovation through delicensing of 6 GHz spectrum, PM1E framework, and paving the way for India to become a global leader in telecommunications sector. May I now request Ms. Aruna Sundararajan, Chairperson BIF, to kindly present a token of our gratitude to Honorable Minister, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause to honor Shri Jyotiraditya Scindia ji and Ministry of Communications for their extraordinary contributions. May I now request Mr. T.V. Ramachandran, President BIF, to kindly present memento as a token of gratitude to Dr. R.S. Sharma, former Chairman TRI and former CEO NHA. We present a token of appreciation to Mr. Osama Manzar, founder and director of the Digital Empowerment Foundation. And to formally conclude the inaugural session, I invite Mr. T.V. Ramachandran, President BIF, for the vote of thanks.
Good morning, respected sir, distinguished people on the dais, ladies and gentlemen. I have been rendered absolutely speechless. I've never heard in all my 30 years of telecom such a soul-stirring speech. So I would like to first thank him by requesting you all to stand up, give a standing ovation. Whatever I say as thanks now would appear too mundane, too trite compared to the beautiful eloquence we have had, sir, from you, and such motivation we have had from you. On behalf of Broadband India Forum, it is truly an immense honor for me to deliver the vote of thanks at the inaugural session of this Wi-Fi Day 2025 celebrations. One of the core beliefs of BIF, sir, is the tremendous positive influence of Wi-Fi on connectivity and its vital role in fostering economic growth, social mobility and interaction, and digital inclusivity and education. So every word of yours was sheer music to us, sir. This year, we are elevating this celebration in consonance with what is being done in SATCOM to a higher orbit, to acknowledge the Government of India's remarkable strides in digital innovation, especially under the leadership, visionary leadership of Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi and the Ministry of Communications under the leadership of the one and only respected Minister, sir. Firstly, I would like to extend our deepest gratitude on behalf of all of you to the Honorable Minister of Communications, Sri Jyotiraditya Scindia, for squeezing some time from his extremely hectic schedule. We know his schedule, absolutely hectic, but he still found time to come and grace this occasion with his presence and deliver such a soul-stirring, beautiful direction for us all. Not a single direction. He has shown so many things to be done. Yes, the deeps are lovely. The forest is lovely, dark and deep, but we do have miles to go, and he showed us what we need to do to go forward. Thank you, sir. We are immensely grateful, sir, to you and your ministry for path-breaking digital policy initiatives, including the use of the novel, never before has been used, and Arunaji referred to it, path-breaking policy initiative of the innovative instrument of consultation, strategic advisory committees. Never before has anybody done that, and you involved all to come and deliver and dialogue. I think that is a beautiful, brilliant instrument, which have significantly advanced India's digital economy with the Honorable Prime Minister's vision of Vikshit Bharat. This past year has been particularly successful for Wi-Fi acceleration, marked by key achievements like the most innovative action of delicensing of 6 GHz spectrum and the PM Vani framework, whatever has been done to further fine-tune the framework. Thank you, respected sir, for your inimitable leadership of the sector and orienting it to deliver. We have been trying for a long time, but you have oriented us rightly, sir, to deliver the enhanced benefits to the general public. What you said last, I think it completely vibrates in every one of us. What we need to do is do it for the common man, for the consumer. I think that's a great thing which we all should dedicate ourselves to. Respected sir, You remain always, as I said, an inimitable champion of inclusivity and cost-effective quality, and the veritable lodestar of the telecom sector in India. Next, I extend my deep gratitude to Dr. R.S. Sharma ji, who is my guru, former chairman, TRAI, and former CEO, NHA, for his motivating and brilliant address. Sir, your passion and dedication as the pioneering architect of the Honorable PM's vision of Digital India and a bedrock of India's digital advancement, we eagerly look forward to continuing to seek your valuable guidance and work under your close guidance. We're also most grateful to BIFs and my longtime personal friend, Mr. Osama Manzar, founder and director of Digital Empowerment Foundation. He works at the ground level, at the grassroots, and amazing work he has done. I've known him for several years, even from my former organizations. And Osama ji, आपका speech truly inspiring था. And your grassroots community work, you're working for the community, particularly through initiatives that expand Wi-Fi access in rural communities, making a tangible difference to their day-to-day lives. Thank you, Ji, for your tireless efforts. Last but certainly not the least, we extend our heartfelt thanks to Madam Aruna Sundarajan, IAS retired, for providing such a wonderful context-setting address and for always being a leading beacon of light and support for BIF. Thank you, ma'am. Also, a deep gratitude to our events partner, Bharat Exhibitions, who are with us in every event, and all the supporting and sponsorship organizations, and each and every one of you in this audience who have been attending and speaking at the event and will speak today. Your presence and contributions have set the stage for what we are confident will be a truly successful and impactful World Wi-Fi Day 2025 celebration. As the Honorable Minister stated, let us today completely dedicate ourselves further to connect India fully and empower each and every citizen with the power of Wi-Fi. Thank you. I once again request you all to stand up and give one more standing ovation to the Minister.
Thank you. Minister, sir, can we request for a group photograph, sir? Can we have a group photograph, sir, with all the dignitaries? And ladies and gentlemen, let's once again put our hands together for the Honorable Minister, sir, for such inspiring words and for being here with us, motivating all of us. Thank you very much indeed, Honorable Minister, sir. And ladies and gentlemen, inviting all of you to kindly join us for networking tea break, which is only of 10 to 15 minutes. The next session will commence sharp at 11:15. We request everyone to kindly be seated back in time for the next session, which is a very special knowledge session chaired by Dr. R.S. Sharma.